Welcome back, everybody. Seth Dark Arts, once again. 27th video. I know. A lot of you are saying, damn, where the hell have you been, man? But I had to take a break for a while. I needed to give y'all some time to digest all the things, all the information that I had put down in all those other previous videos. But I do have things to share. Yes, I do. Been on quite a journey since I've been away. But it was a necessary journey, one that needed to be taken. If you look at the date, now you'll know how I get down. There's no such thing as time. And if you don't know that, now you know. There's no such thing as time. Time doesn't exist. It's a mental construct that we have all manifested and believe in, but there's no time. But if you want to look at time, the date on this video, I'm in Japan right now, it's going on August 21st. My last video was on, I believe, June 21st. So that means it's been exactly 2 months since my last video. I hope that most of you, if you've been following me from the beginning, have been doing your homework. And the homework is simply going within, back to yourself, getting back to nature, and not learning, but understanding and remembering who you really are and what you really are. And that is a multi-dimensional being that exists outside of time and space. I know, it sounds crazy, but that's what you are. And you simply have just forgotten that. So I'm here to remind you and help you reclaim your power. Now, as to where I have been, I've been on some amazing journeys. And basically learning new abilities that I have to take on. Well, I've taken them on, and just learning how to deal with them. And learning what is the full capacity and how far I can push it. Which there are no real limits, but yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. And one of the newest things I'm going to have to drop on all of you is, basically, I think I may have mentioned it the last time we've spoken, or I've spoken to you, but yeah, dreams. Keep going back to dreams. Dreams have taken a completely just... words can't even describe it, man. I'm on a whole nother level. Completely. Just on a whole nother level right now. That I'm trying to bring all of you to, or whoever's watching this, trying to bring most people to this level. But I can enter what you would call the dream state. The Australian Aborigines call it the dreaming. There are many names. I think I'll stick with the dreaming because I kind of like that. Or the dream world or whatever. But yeah, basically, I can enter that state anytime I want. That's right. I'll say it again. What you call dreaming. When you go to bed at night and you close your eyes and you cross over into this state that has been commonly known as dreaming. Excuse me. Yeah, I can get there without going through the whole process of going to bed and all these things. I could enter that state anytime I want. So, now I know a lot of people are going to be saying, that's bullshit, that's impossible. But hey, what can I say? This is my reality, and this is what I'm experiencing. And this is nothing new. If you look at many ancient civilizations, many ancient cultures, many people have spoken on the ability to enter the dreaming whenever they wanted. Shamans, mystics, and the list goes on. Ancient Kemet, or Egypt, as it's been commonly known. But all these things are here, and they're all, yeah, we have these abilities. We just simply forgotten them. So, yeah, like I said, when I close my eyes and go into a meditation state or a trance state, I simply just cross over, that's it. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I cross over and I enter this state, and it has given me such a new outlook on reality that if you can reach this level that I'm talking about, it pretty much changes the whole game completely. Because what it does is it puts you in a situation where you see the true nature of reality, at least from one angle anyway, because there's infinite realities, but you see it from one point that this is the state. From me experiencing this directly, I have seen for myself exactly why you don't hear about this on on television, and why you will never hear about this, and why they don't talk about this when we're young. Because when you reach this level that I'm at now, and there are no levels, I'm just using that word as a frame of reference, but once you get to this point that I am at within myself, you pretty much lose interest in all of the mundane daily bullshit that goes on, even for buying things. Things are nice. I like to have things too sometimes, but it really, I would say by like 80% to 90 cuts down like all of that. You basically lose interest in just say video games, buying things, just all out shopping, buying unnecessary things that are not necessary to your consciousness development. Because if you can manifest anything you want, I mean, what comes more than that? What goes beyond that? See what I'm saying? So, just an example. I'm not saying this is the only thing, but put, for example, women, right? Yes, women are nice, and in this reality, I'm a male. I'm in a physical male body, but as I said before, you all know, I'm male and female in multiple realities right now going on. Infinite realities, I'm everything. But in this reality right now, yes, I take the form of a male, and I like women. With this new ability, I can basically cross over into this so-called dreaming state, and I can be with anybody I want to be with, and as many as I want to be with, and in whatever situation I want. Now, I'm not saying that this is the goal to reach, because you have to broaden your horizons and think on a much deeper level and go beyond just thinking about sex and, the earthly pleasures, which are nice, by the way, but you got to go beyond that. You got to go deeper than that. But I'm just giving you an example of things that people stress about and worry about. If they had this ability and put in the work and put in the time to get to the point that I'm at right now, they wouldn't be stressed. There would be no rape. There wouldn't be any of these, people with these mental issues because they can't get somebody. They would simply be able to manifest within this other state anyone or anything that they wanted. And that will completely eliminate the need of having to, put harm on other people, excuse me, and trying to take what's not theirs. So yeah. But that's just the physical. Let's take it another step which is still in the physical, but traveling. I could be anywhere I want. Anywhere. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but you're talking about women and you're talking about meeting people, and what about actual communication between each other? Yes, real communication is great, but I think if you're still battling and saying, well, what about this, what about that, you're not truly comprehending what I'm saying right now. I'm going to say it one more time to make this clear. What you call the dream state when you go to sleep at night, when you go to bed and close your eyes and you have a so-called dream, I can enter that state any time I want, at will. That's right. So this is what it's all been leading up to. Not all of it, but this is just one portion of it to get to this level. Now, yeah, it just changes the whole game up. I have been going on an awesome journey for these past 2 months. Me and another friend of mine who's on the same level as me. We've gone through this amazing journey together. And yeah, I want other people to go on this journey as well, within themselves and together. Excuse me. The big thing that has been coming up with me in my journeys and the information I've been getting and the talks I've been having with other forms of consciousness and things is immortality. Now, this is the main gist of this video that I want to touch on. The gift of immortality. I see all these videos. I've been seeing a lot of news information recently with, don't get on me if I'm making a mistake, but I think it was something with a Russian scientist who claims that he would be able to put his mind and consciousness into an avatar or a machine or something like that, and he'll be able to live forever. And there's all this talk about on the internet buzzing around about scientists will be able to unlock the keys to immortality in 20 years, and by 2045 immortality would be a regular. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's called the face. And this is the face I give when people are going on some real bullshit. I'm not saying immortality is bullshit, and I'm not trying to knock what these people are doing, but we need to go deeper than this. That is a trap. The trap is trying to get people focused on immortality in the physical realm. That is not the immortality that you want. True immortality, this is the secret. You want the real secret? I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you right now. The true secret. The true secret to immortality is this. Are you ready? You're already immortal. That's it. There's nothing more to it. You've always been immortal. All of us. We allow these people, so-called scientists, to come along, and they're really trying to sell this idea now to get us worked up about immortality. When people think about immortality, they're thinking about immortality in terms of materialistic, egotistical gain in physical reality. They're thinking about, yes, I want to be immortal because I want to live forever so I can sleep with as many women as I want, or men, or I can have as many fast cars as I want, or I can have all these jewels and I can have all this money, I can do it. That is, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say that's the lowest form of immortality. If that's all you're gunning for, then I got to give you the face, because you're not thinking high enough. True immortality is something we all have. And, at one time I had written something down, but it's basically, I'll just summarize, the gift of immortality in occult sciences and so-called ancient wisdom and ancient knowledge. The gift of immortality, was the initiation into the dark arts, or initiation into the occult. And those who are initiated into the secrets, they learn what the secret was. The secret was learning that gaining immortality was simply remembering what you are. That's it. That was the big secret. Once you realized that you were a multi-dimensional being that existed outside of time and space, you become aware of the knowledge that basically you have been immortal your whole life. And you have to realize that we don't just exist in this life that we just come into and you live for X amount of years, 50 years, 80, 32 years, 5, whatever, however long you're here. You've been around way before that. So basically, we've always been immortal. And there's a lot of religions that they do put that idea out. I have to give it to them, that you have this immortal soul. But even then, they're still coming at it from a very limited standpoint of view. You have to think, you have to just remember what you are. And this is basically what has happened to me. I've had some powerful, super powerful experiences that have basically reshaped what I am and what I know I am on some very serious levels within myself. So, yeah, I'm not worried about nothing, man, because I understand. I understand what I am, and I'm not saying that I know everything and I have all the answers. I'm simply saying, because learning is an infinite process, and the soul, or you can call it the entity, which is the soul, the same thing, but the soul has, when you use the word soul, it has many religious connotations, and people start immediately thinking of Christianity and all these things, but soul, or the entity, which is the core of yourself, it is eternal, and it always has been. We are simply the physical manifestations of the soul. That's what we are. That's what the so-called humans are. We're not even human. We're not human. You see all these movies talking about, they want to create, especially over here in Japan, they have a lot of movies about biological suits that people can wear, like mecha robot suits, and they're doing all these amazing feats and all these things like that. This is simply what we are. Now, whether the artists who made those animations or comics or manga got into that and realized that and just put it out in an entertainment form, I don't know. But basically, we are using the most advanced biological suit, which is our physical bodies, to exist in this reality. That's how it is. And we are a portion of our souls that are manifesting, or a portion of our entities that are manifesting into physical reality. Now, to enter physical reality, we need a medium to work through, and the medium is the physical body. That's what it is. So, yeah, I'm speaking for myself right now, and this applies to all of you, but it depends on whether or not you want to follow this train of thought. I am older than the concept of time itself, and I think I may have said that in a previous video, but I'll have to restate it. I have no age, man. I don't even have a name. I put the name up there, Seth Dark Arts, because we need to use names in this reality, or my video wouldn't be able to go on YouTube. But we're all nameless. We're all nameless. Not voiceless, not without identity or personality, but we are nameless. What we are, it can never be contained by a name or anything like that. We are eternal. So this concept of immortality, I have to initiate to take this to the next level, because no one else is doing it, and I'm going to put my first foot forward. Now, there are probably others out there thinking like this, but it doesn't matter. I'm doing it my way. And this is the philosophy. You need to start living your life. If you believe what I'm saying, if you believe deep down in yourself, this is not going on my word. This is going by what you feel. If you have been doing your dream work, if you have been meditating, if you have been eating right, if you've been exercising, if you've been writing down your own knowledge that you're getting, intuitive knowledge from your inner self, if you've been communicating with your inner self, if you've been doing all these things I have been talking about in the past 26 videos or something, you would have probably come to the conclusion that everything I'm saying is, I'm not going to say 100% truth and you have to follow me, but there is something to what I'm saying. And there is a touch of truth to it. We are immortal. That's it. So we need to start living our lives as we are and what we truly are. See, that's the secret. If people realize that they were already immortal, they wouldn't be stressing things, man. They just wouldn't. If you're immortal, what are you stressing about politics for? Doesn't even matter. You're immortal. If you're immortal, what are you stressing about getting that new iPhone 6 for? You're immortal. That's going to be obsolete in a blink of an eye. If you're immortal, why are you stressing about trying to save up money to get the new PlayStation 4? Now, I'm not knocking these things. They are nice. And I like having nice things too. But on a side note, when you get to this moment point that I'm at right now for myself, and many others have reached throughout so-called history, all of those things become just toys, children's toys. I mean, you don't even think about them. You're like, okay, let's see. I can manifest an amazing experience right now on a whim and project myself into any reality I could possibly think of and imagine. Or I could sit down and just play video games and Call of Duty for the next 20 hours and achieve nothing? This is where you have to ask yourself. Now, like I said, there's nothing wrong with a little side fun, you know, throw on some video games, play for a little bit. I do that myself too. Get bored, throw on some, you know, a few fighting games and, you know, have it out for a little bit. But I don't get addicted to these things. It's just a minor form of entertainment that is there for a side quest away from the normal things that I'm always thinking about, which are a million times more deeper than what they're putting out in these video games and movies and stuff like that. So, yeah, start living as an immortal being that you are. Start living as a multi-dimensional being that you are. Being a multi-dimensional being, do you know what that means? That means you are a multi-dimensional being. You exist on every level. Every reality that could be a possibility or that you can think of exists. And in all of those realities, you have a part in there, depending on what you want your part to be. So, yeah, I've decided that I made it official quite some time since I've been gone. And I've been thinking about this for a long time already, but I am going to start living my life as an immortal. And start living my life as... I already know I'm a multidimensional being. I already know I'm immortal. The next phase is start living that way. Now, we also need to use common sense. You have to understand the rules to the game and the rules of physical reality. Yes, we are multidimensional beings. We are eternal. We are immortal. We've been alive since before this earth was even here. We've been around as forms of energy. But you have to respect the physical reality, the limits of physical reality as well. Yes, I can still die physically. Yes, if I jump out a window. I mean, I could preach all day that I'm a god and God in training and immortal. If I jump out this window right now, I'll be dead as dead in this reality. And there's no coming back from that. Now, I won't be dead. My personality will continue. And I'll probably look at my body crushed on the ground, on the concrete, and marvel at, wow, that looks pretty crazy. But from there, I'll be on my way. I'll be on my merry way, going on to the next reality that I choose that I want to be in. So we still have to respect physical reality. That's why I said you got to start respecting your body. You got to start eating right, eating healthy. Your body is your temple. This is your place. You don't need to go to church. You don't need to go to no temple and pray and getting down on your knees and doing all this stuff. You worship yourself. You worship your temple, which is your body, which is your mind. You got to get in here first. And once you clear a house and get all those so-called negative thoughts out and start strengthening yourself, then nothing can stop you. Who can stop a multidimensional being? There's so many implications that can be used with this type of thinking on all levels. Let's say, I'm going to bring it back down now to some typical stuff here. Let's say you go out and you see a guy, and this guy's in a Benz, he got new rims, he got all these things and flashing all this money. If you know who you really were, that wouldn't even faze you. You look at him and be like, all right, that's nice, but is that all he has? Because I can manifest that shit right now and have a car even bigger than his or even more expensive than his. Now, yes, I won't have it here in physical reality, but I can manifest it and go to this other reality and enjoy it just the same way he's enjoying it. If you have problems, issues talking to women or talking to men, you simply remind yourself of what you are. No one intimidates you. Let no one make you feel less than what you are. They are multidimensional beings just like you are. But the difference is, have they acknowledged it? Are they aware? Are they aware of their multidimensionality? Or are they just enjoying the physical pleasures, which are nice, but they haven't evolved their minds enough to get to that next level? So this is the type of confidence that you take on. This no lose. You cannot lose because you can't. You can't lose. There's nothing to lose. What are you going to lose? You can manifest things and you can pull things closer to your reality if you really work on it, if you really want those things. But the question is this: is that what this life is for? Excuse me. Do you really want to use this physical reality focusing on just trying to get materialistic gains and materialistic items. Is that what you want to waste this reality for? Physical reality is beautiful. There are things here that we experience and that we get that we can't really have in other states, unless you've gotten to this level that I'm talking about, that I'm at now, where when you leave, you can manifest these things at will and live any existence that you want. But if you're just focusing on trying to enjoy this life only, and you're not thinking for the next level, then guess what? When you die, you come back here, man. That's it. Now let me touch on that for a minute. This whole concept of reincarnation, your reincarnation of lives, your probable selves, all these things are happening right now. Straight out, that's what it is. All time is simultaneous. All time is happening right now. There is no past, present, or future. We see a past, present, and future based on our neurological structure. We perceive things to happen in a series of moments. But that's all it is. There is no past, present, or future. All those things are happening now. Your past selves are alive right now. Your future selves are alive right now. And this is how you grow. Your future selves pass down information to you. Everything that you're learning now and putting yourself through as far as training your mind, this is affecting your future selves. Your future selves send that information back to you right now, and then you send that information back to your past selves, and it's a full circle. And everyone's doing their own thing, though. So your future selves, when you get to that point in the so-called future, where your future so-called future self is at, that future self will have gone on to become something else. And you will still not be that exact same personality. You will be something different. Because even though you have these past selves, they all have their own personalities. To break it down more simply, just think of the person you were when you were younger. Think of yourself, just say for example, 20 years ago. You're not the same person you were. You probably, if you've been really working and growing your mind, you probably can't even really, what's the word I'm looking for? Not comprehend, but I can't come up with the word right now, but you probably can't really connect with that person on that level, that former you, that you would perceive to be a past self. You probably can't even comprehend that personality because you have grown so much that you might even look down on that person and say, wow, that was a time when I was weak. I'm much stronger now. But don't look down on that self. You send that strong energy that you have now back to that former self, and you help them out. And that energy will help them. And when they catch up to the point of where you are right now, you'll be at another point somewhere else, be different, and they will be a different person of a stronger character. And because they're stronger, that will affect you in the future. So I don't want to confuse you right now. Excuse me. But basically, it's all connected. So we're talking about on that level, just future selves and past selves. Then you have probable selves that each one of those past, present, and future selves has their own probable versions of themselves that split off. And then each one of those personalities has reincarnational selves. So there is an infinite number of lives going on simultaneously. And you need to know this information so that you can tap into all of that and assist each other and benefit and get the gains from all these other realities that they are existing in. But not to detract from the main point of immortality. Yeah, you're immortal. Start living your life like you deserve to be. Start living a life that is your birthright. And I'm not talking about physical birth either. I'm just talking about coming into existence, which we've always been here. So this is what you are, and this is what you deserve to be. Now, yeah, I went into immortality. I'm going to connect this into meditation. If you want to know what you really are, I'm going to make this real simple for you. Close your eyes. When you meditate and you see that darkness behind your eyes, that is what you are. I know it sounds crazy, but just hear me out. When you close your eyes and go into your deep meditation or trance states, that darkness, that energy that's there, this is you. This is what you truly are. You're not the physical body. So that formlessness that is behind your eyes, that formlessness that you feel, that floating sensation of consciousness or of your mind, this is your true form. And from that form, you can project and manifest things. So, yeah, like I said, once you close your eyes, you go into a deep meditation. You have basically cut off the largest thing that's keeping you locked into physical reality, and that is visual perception. Visual perception and the physical body is what keeps us locked into physical reality. If you want to go into other states of consciousness, go into other states of the mind, go into other realities, it's not going to happen with your physical body. It doesn't work that way. These are the simple rules that you need to know. It has to happen through your so-called spirit body or astral body or whatever term you want to use, but it ain't happening with the physical body. The physical body is equipped. It's a powerful machine. It's a powerful biological spacesuit that we deal with, and we have, and we cherish it, and we have to take care of it. That's why I say respect your temple. But it's not going anywhere. It's staying right here where it was built to be most effective, and that is right here in physical reality. And visual perceptions also, the five senses, so-called five senses, they're equipped to deal with physical reality. The ego is made to deal with physical reality. Let me give you this point real quick, because this is something that might help you. I'm sure all of you have had experiences where, excuse me, you have an amazing, deep experience. Could be an out-of-body experience, near-death experience, anything. And you know at that moment, that was a powerful experience. It was real. I experienced it. Maybe you saw an entity or saw something and communicated with you. And at that moment, that was realer than anything that you could possibly think of as real. Then the moment when it's over, you start, just say so-called coming down off your psychic high of what happened. And then here comes the ego. The ego is built, the ego is here to deal with physical reality. It starts editing out that experience. It starts rationalizing things. Oh, that wasn't real. That was your imagination. Oh, you had that crazy dream last night. It was real. That was just brain chemistry of the mind manifesting things. Oh, you saw that ethereal mist walking around your living room. No. That was just a play of the lights. And this is what the ego tells you. And this is because the ego's job is to keep you focused in physical reality. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. We need this, because if we didn't, we would have people walking around saying, I'm an immortal being, and doing some real crazy shit, like jumping in front of cars or putting themselves in life or death situations. So we need that ego to keep us aware of physical reality so that we can survive here. But on the same tip, the ego wants to learn. And if we train ourselves, we can introduce the ego to these bigger ideas and bigger concepts. So the ego will say, okay, well, I want to stay here in physical reality. I feel safe here. But, that is interesting that I might have the ability, or, there is the ability to be aware of these dream states or be aware of this inner self. And it starts getting curious. But its main focus is to keep you grounded in physical reality. And that's a good thing. It's a good skill to have, so you don't end your physical reality life very quickly because of, you're getting confused between these other states of consciousness and what's possible within physical reality. But, visual perceptions and the physical body keeps us locked here. So this is where I go back into the inner senses. You got to hit up my video. I don't remember which number it is now, but it's one of these videos that goes into the inner senses. You need to start using your inner senses, training your inner senses, and getting in touch with your psychological time, which is basically the gateway to the other realms, the inner self, the inner realities, and back to the physical world, the physical realm. But this is what needs to be done if you want to reach these levels and pull yourself up out of this nonsense that's going on. So Live like what you already are. Back to immortality, with these people, scientists talking about immortality and they're finding the keys to it. You don't want physical immortality. That is another trap. I mean, think of all the things that are going to come with that. Okay, physical immortality, so who gets it? Who's going to get this so-called immortality injection or something that slows the aging process and all these so-called things they say it could do? Who's going to get it? You know damn well it ain't going to be people, so-called minorities. They're not getting it. It's not going to be poor people. They're not going to get it. It's going to be the rich and wealthy so that they could continue with their little fake rules of power, imaginary rules of power that they think they have over people. On a side note, if they did give it to people of so-called lesser status or lesser financial situations, that's still a trap. So, because now, all right, you got physical immortality. So just think of the game, how it is now, where you got basically indentured servants working until they die in companies and all these things, serving someone else. Now you have that on a much larger scale. Now it's like, okay, well, the same rat race that you've been doing for the past couple of centuries, we're going to now up the ante and, excuse me, now, if you didn't like it before, now you can do it for the next 10,000 years. You can be our slaves and keep working hard and supporting other people and doing all these things. So this is what you got to think about. Think about if someone was to imprison you illegally. That's got to be the worst punishment I could think of. You make someone immortal and then you throw them into a prison cell for life where they can never escape and there's no possibility of escaping. That has to be the worst form of punishment. Imagine being buried alive for eternity as a form of punishment. So, or being someone's, sex slave or a slave that they abuse and do these things to for eternity. So, with no way out. When people are servants or slaves or held against their will, basically when it gets really bad, their only point of relief is death. And they wait for that moment to come. That's the only chance they're going to have to escape this really horrific situation. But if there's no death and you receive your little immortality injection, you ain't going nowhere. You're going to be this person's slave until the end of time, which there is no time, so that means forever. Yes. So anyway, these are some things I wanted to touch on, man. Yeah. I'm not meaning to get all serious on y'all and shit, man, but I haven't seen you in a long time, and it's just, I've been on such an amazing little journey for these past 2 months, that I'm really just on this whole new level right now. I'm still peace, love, and harmony. I'm still like that. It's just that I think it's time that we need to start taking this to the next level and cut the bullshit, man, because I can't take it anymore. This is why I decided to change this and shift roles, because how many talks, when you start coming into this information, how many talks are you going to have about sports? Let's be serious. Who the fuck cares? Who cares about what baseball team won? Who cares about who's going to be president? This stuff is so insignificant. It's unbelievable. And this is how you need to start looking at life. When you not just intellectually say, okay, yes, I'm an immortal being, and start quoting some Einstein bullshit about, energy cannot be destroyed, and, all these, forget about all that. I'm talking about something that goes deeper and is older than all of that. All these so-called concepts and quantum physics, this predates all of that. This predates, information I'm talking about predates all religion, predates all ideas of race, culture, everything. I'm talking about the very source of creation itself, which is infinite and has always existed. So I'm trying to take all of you to that. I know it's a big leap, but I'm really trying to get you to that next level where you don't just intellectualize what I'm saying, you actually feel it for yourself. And I can't make you feel that. Everything I'm saying right now, this is all my personal experience. So no matter how much talking I'm saying and I'm breaking it down for you, there's always going to be people saying, that's bullshit, this guy's smoking something, I don't believe him. Fine. If you don't believe me, then this message is not for you. Go back to watching politics and getting stressed about shit that has nothing to do with you, and it never will. Wake up. You will never have a say-so in politics. You will never have a say-so in basically anything that's going on a global scale. Nobody cares about your opinion. And I'm not saying this to bring you down. I'm saying this to bring you up so that you can get beyond all that and start living life as the God that you are. So, trying to see if I left anything out. You know how I do. I like to touch on a few things. So when you get into time and start thinking about time and connecting to immortality, the creation of watches and clocks was the creation of watches and clocks was man's first success at limiting himself. Once we started dabbling around, we were the masters of time because there's no time. So we were the masters. We were the timekeepers, the masters of everything. And the moment we started playing around with these ideas of clocks, times, dates, that's when we fell. This so-called, fallen angels, fall from grace and all this shit. This basically comes down to when we started limiting ourselves. That was the great fall. Once we stopped believing in our immortality and stopped believing in our multidimensionality and started looking at watches and dates and times and clocks and all this stuff, that was our great fall, because we fell into a smaller box that we had actually created and we forgot that we created. So, yeah. Watches and clocks, we could still have to use clock time to operate within this little physical realm that we got going here to get to meetings and stuff like that. But for me, watches and clocks only serve as reminders of our own limiting belief systems. That every time I look at a watch, I'm just in awe. I go, wow, I don't even wear a watch. I haven't worn a watch since cell phones became popular. And I think that's the case for most people. Now, I'm not knocking watches, but I'm just saying it should give you a different outlook. Use the watch, use the clock time. But when you look at it, it should also remind you of, wow, humans are interesting. Not that we're humans, but I'm saying, like, if you want to believe you're a human and limited, then yeah, it is interesting. Because you say, wow, look at this, idea that we've created of time that's not even real. And the whole world is running by it. Most of the world anyway. So, yeah. A few notes to finish off. Why I started getting all this immortality information and stuff like that. I had a series of events and dreams and out-of-body travels where one night, for the whole night, and this was a long night, every experience was me dying the whole night. I would come into some reality, die, and then see my soul or my entity rise out of my physical body. And each time it happened, it was like as if I was trying to teach myself something and it wasn't going to stop until I got the message. So this whole night was an endless series of me dying and rising up out of my physical body, looking at my body dead and going, all right, I remember this feeling because I've had that feeling many times in other lives. And that's exactly what's going to happen after this one. So, the final one that I had quite recently was I was in an airplane. The plane was on a nosedive, spiraling down. It was as real as anything else. People were crying, screaming. There was oxygen masks flying around and all this shit. And as it was going down, I said, this is a reality that I have experienced quite a few times already through other probable selves. And death is just something that we have experienced many, many times. So, to summarize this video, I'm just going to touch on a few points real quick. One, you are immortal and you're a multidimensional being or God. Remember that. Start living your life accordingly. Stop living your life according to other people's ideas of how you should be living life. And don't take this the wrong way. We still have to care about our fellow man or woman or whatever term you want to use and help people out. I'm not saying you're, immortal and a multidimensional being so that you can start killing people or murdering or just saying, hey, I'm just going to do whatever. I'm not saying there's consequences and karma, but use common sense. If you want to run around claiming to be an immortal God and kill somebody, the reality is you're going to jail. That's it. And you get the death penalty or whatever. But you should feel a urge to want to help other people out and really help people get them to a point so that we can have a paradise. Physical reality is just a realm that we all are passing through, and it's always here, and endless forms of consciousness pass through it. That's it. The question is, how are you going to make this trip of yours coming through here? And are you ready to end your reincarnational cycle? This is it for me. I'm not coming back here. This is why I'm trying to help people, as many people as I can before I leave. Once I'm gone, this is it. I'm going on to bigger and better things. I touched on before about that astral city, that inner temple, that inner world you got to start working on. There's so many deeper implications to what I was talking about in those past videos about creating yourself a reality. But I'm not going to get into that too deeply because that's something you got to go through for yourself and intuitively listen to what I was saying and do your own research. Research, not internet research, but research within yourself. But I'll give you a small hint. Basically, when you die, there are no two people have the same experience when they die. And from my own experience, information, and my own crazy ass trips that I've been doing, not with drugs, but just going through my own psyche and my own travels, there is a level, alright, there's no level, but there is a place that you can get to that if you really put in the work now, when you die, you can, put it like this, let me make it simple. You can decide if you want to end this reincarnational process. There's no guides you got to go through, there's no gods you got to bow down to, there's no karma, there's none of this stuff. It's simply a choice. And the choice is, when you leave physical reality and have this physical death, what are you going to do? Are you planning your next existence? Most people are not. Most people are not planning anything. Are you planning your next existence? And what will it be? When you die, there's a place you can go to, which you can start now. If you start working on that inner temple and that inner reality that I was telling you about, and start even in your dream states, creating your own reality, when you die, instead of coming back here dealing with this shit, you can go to the world that you have created for yourself. And I'm not saying that's the final resting point. It might be for a very long time, but basically, you will be there as long as you want to be there. And it will give you a lot more, it's a bigger creative outlet to deal with, as opposed to just looking forward to another sorry ass, all right, let me stop, another reincarnation into physical reality. I'm not knocking physical reality, but let's be realistic, people. How many times are you going to come back and do this, with politics and government, and depending on where you end up at, all these people forcing these dogmas onto you and all this stuff. Broaden your horizons, people. Because you see me, I'm not worried about anything, because I know where I'm going after this. And people can say, oh, it's not true, I don't believe you. It's okay. You don't have to believe me, because you just don't have to. Let me stop. I'm laughing because if I can just put into your minds my experiences, it will blow you away. I know where I'm going after this life. I know where I'm going. There's no, oh, well, I hope I go to heaven, or I hope I get to see Buddha or Jesus, and, oh, if I go to hell, I hope no demons come, and I hope the angels rescue me. I'm sidestepping all of that BS. I'm going straight to the place that I have created and meeting other entities like myself. And there's just another reality that does not deal with, basically, very simple. There's a place that you can go to where you basically manifest anything you want. This is why you need to learn. Physical reality is a training ground, and you need to learn the connections between thought and physical manifestations. Our thoughts create reality based on our beliefs about what is possible. And the reason people keep coming back to physical reality is because they keep coming back to the only thing that they know. If you spent your whole life focusing on really hardcore facts, physical reality, this is it, there's nothing else beyond this, guess what? Why would you be going to any other higher realms than what you believe in? You believed your whole life for the past, just say 50 years or whatever, that physical reality was all there is. So guess what? That's what you're going to come back to, another physical reality. It's not a punishment. No one's forcing you. It's just simply that you didn't believe in anything else. So with the power of your own energies, you manifest another physical reality because that's all you think that is possible. But if you listen to me, and not just listen to me, if you listen to your inner self, you will get the secrets. And if you just remember that you are immortal, you will realize that you can manifest any reality you want after your physical death. So that was a mouthful. And I know I talked a lot, but I know y'all appreciate it. I've been gone for 2 months, and a lot of people have hit me up. I apologize if I haven't responded back. I've been on a mission, but I'm back now. So I don't know if I got the name Kaya Lee or something, Keha Lee. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, but you've been sending me messages recently. I got them. I appreciate them. A lot of the questions that you asked me, they're already in other videos. So this is why I haven't really gone into responding to you directly. But it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just that every time you respond, you write me a message. I see that you have gone to the next video. And I think some of those videos already have the answers that you're looking for. But if you really feel you want to ask me a question directly, yeah, just send me a message. And I will get to you. And anybody who wants to respond to me or privately and send me private messages through YouTube, please make sure that you have me on your account, because I hate writing a long message and then send it and it doesn't send because you don't have me on your contacts list or something. But yeah, let's step it up, people, because the game has changed, at least for me anyway, and I'm trying my best to reveal this information to you to help you get to this point, but you got to put in the work. And it's not really work. It's no work at all, actually. It's simply just putting in the time to focus on yourself. There are no limitations. Any barriers or limitations that you come up with are only mental and psychic ones. There are no limitations. You can get exactly to the moment that I'm at right now with my own experiences if you just listen to your inner self. Inner self has all the information, and it will tell you exactly what you need to do to get there. So that's it for now. I'm gonna have to teach class in a little bit, but yeah, the game has changed. I am immortal. I'm a multi-dimensional being. I have no age. I have no name. I might have one here to get around, but I know what my true existence is. And yeah, basically, I was gonna say this. I just know what I am, and I've gone beyond the point of, is this real? Or I had this experience. What happened? Or this person said this, or I read that. It's just straight, direct experience now, and whatever happens to me, however long I'm in this reality, once I do leave and have a physical death, I already know where I'm going. And the question is, where are you going when you leave? Are you planning your next existence? Most people are not. Step your game up. Let's get on point with this. Alright, that's it for now. I'll holler at y'all again soon. Take what I've said, write comments if you want, but yeah. Peace, love, and harmony as always, and I'll see you again real soon. Later.